Well, good morning, and we are here with you. Today is Transformation Tuesday. Good morning. How are you guys all doing? I am fine. I'm your certified host, wellness, and for your mental and emotional health. Where are you listening in from, please, and thank you. And we are going to be talking about staying in your peace. How to find and how to stay in it. And you have anything that you like to keep chat podcast. You can find us on YouTube. We'd love for you to connect with us there. We are on Facebook and we're on Instagram. You are from... No, don't give your whole address. Please don't. Alan, 450. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope that you will be able to stay on this Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday. I'm all the way from Southern California. What are you all thankful for this morning? Or have you given it any thought? Being thankful requires us to be able to think about it, become aware of it, and then be able to say what we are grateful for. I'm grateful for being able to get clarity with the things that I say. Understand what you're saying? And that's because they don't like something about what you've said, or this or that. I'm thankful for clarity in my words and in my actions. What are you all thankful for? Good morning as you're coming in. If you see at the top of your screen on the left side, some are clickable, some are not. On the top left, go ahead and click that so that you are a member of our YouTube channel. You will not miss our topic for today. It's always there, and I hear that this platform is changing, and as it changes, we want you to be able to find us. Our YouTube channel is free. Our Facebook book is free. So that's where you're going to be able to find us in live, interactive settings. What are you thankful for? Our audience member in Maryland says, "The good Lord woke me up. Woke my family up. Thank you so much. My house, my bed, and food in my belly." But the list goes on. Thank you for that. That's just a few things. I love it. What are you all thankful for? Our program is being recorded, so if you want a playback, you'll be able to do that just as soon as we're done here. I'm Nisi. I am your certified life coach. And just while I have you guys here, we also are doing what is called in session. You think that's cool? If you think it's cool, you will look for my card and it will say in sessions. We're going to be doing that. That's why we're giving you all information. You will be able to come in or get online and talk to me about whatever it is that you would like to. Sound cool? And today we're going to be talking about finding peace. Uh-oh. I've lost it. And I'm looking for it. What is it? Peace. Peace of mind, peace of heart. How many of you feel that way? Or are you finding it hard to keep peace between you and yourself? How many of you are finding that to be hard? Today we're going to be talking about it. Finding peace. Our audience member says only in certain times. Yeah, we find that. Today we're going to learn some things about finding our peace. What is it? Calmness, tranquility, stability. You have that while you are letting no one remove it. Sometimes in life, have you figured out that people may not be peaceful? How many of you have experienced people that aren't peaceful? Anybody? What do you do when you have surrounded yourself with persons like this? We all know them. And let's be honest, because Facing the Lion podcast is all about facing, don't be afraid, about finding peace. Because everybody is not a peaceful person. Here's the marvelous thing that I've always taught the brain. The brain is such a marvelous tool. Everyone has one, and you are in control of your own brain. So here's the first step to the newcomers that are here today, being able to point to your brain. I want you to point to your brain. And you have many sides of the brain. You have left brain, right brain. I hope you all are pointing. Front brain and your back brain. Without getting into medical terms, we all should have by now known that there are parts of our brain. Your brain is very powerful, and don't you let anyone tell you differently. So, how do we control our brain when we need to find peace? We're going to be doing for Transformation Tuesday a prompt idea, but first, what is the peace that you would like to have? What does your peace look like right now? Good morning, Trish.
Good morning.
So that's the question that we're going to be answering. How do we know what it is? How do we find our peace? Everyone says be in peace, go in peace, but how do you stay in peace? What would you all say? What would you all say?
I would say how I stay in peace or maintain my peace is I always think about positive things or relaxing things to calm down or keep the peace.
Keeping the peace. You know, we all want to be in peaceful moods. Today, we're going to take you on a trip to be peaceful. Stay with us. Here's something I want you to think about despite how you're being affected in your life at this moment, presently. Are you feeling peaceful right now, or are you feeling anxious? What would you say as we take a moment? Before I started, I was feeling really anxious because putting together a podcast, as Trish and I do regularly, it is nerve-wracking at times, but we have seemed to be able to do it. So I felt anxious, and I found out that that wasn't what I was exactly anxious about. Because, see, now I'm more aware of why that happens. So how were you this morning when you first got up? Were you anxious or were you calm?
This morning, I wasn't at peace because I woke up with pain in my ear. So um, I was nervous and also anxious that I was going to be late this morning because I was trying to make myself, feel better, more at ease because of the pain in my ear.
And you have to take care of that. Self-care is very important. Okay, guys? It's very important. No matter what you're doing. Yeah. I'm, I'm glad, Trish, that you took care of yourself. And I hope that you will get better. Sometimes inner peace seems impossible because we're anxious, busy, stressful, chaotic. But let's find a quiet space this morning. If you are listening to me at this moment, I'd like for you to find a quiet space. This is very important. Where you are right now, I want you to look around for a moment, whether it's in your room, wherever you are, your car. Are you finding it to be comfortable for you? Who is in a comfortable space at the moment? Because
I
I want you all
am.
to, okay? So you found your comfortable space. I'm in a comfortable space. That's the thing about being able to teach virtually and to be able to have programs virtually. Everyone has their comfortable space. And I want you all, as you listen to us, to have a comfort and do something that makes you feel comfortable. And it's important. If you're not comfortable, I'd like you to think about what makes you comfortable. Get your blanket if that's what makes you feel more comfortable. Thank you so much. Get your whatever it is that you need. Thank you guys for being here. Again, I'm going to be making announcements because my co-host Trish tells me that um, Spoons is going to be making some changes so that you don't feel like we went anywhere. I urge you please to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free, costs you nothing. Uh, Go to our Facebook because that's where we'll be. And when we get on and you follow us, you'll see exactly where we are. Excuse me. So we're talking about inner peace. You must find a comfortable arrangement wherever you are for your inner peace. When you think about your inner peace with yourself, how are you doing in that regard when it comes to you are being at peace? I was asked by our audience member this morning, how am I doing? And I can thankfully say I'm well. You know, tranquility is a state of mind. And your mind, again, is very powerful. And I want you to think about it as you have thought, think about the world around you. And I want you to be comfortable in your own skin. We're learning so much from Vibe Talk, and this is our third year, and we will keep learning. I will learn from you, and you will learn from me. Shall we? So now as you think about, I'm having a technical difficulty at the moment, but I'm going to get it straight. Hold on just a moment. I don't know what just happened to my stability here. Oh, I have to get my equipment right. Hold on, guys. Because our thing is all over the place. There. Are you comfortable in your own skin? When we think about our inner peace, we think about everything around us, how it affects us. One of our audience members says, good morning for those who are joining us. Please tell us where you're joining us if you haven't already, what state you're in. No addresses, please, just your state or county. The only times I've really felt at peace anymore is if I'm in church or if I'm working or if I'm sitting in the woods with a wad of tobacco in my gums. So you're finding your peace. Isn't it great, guys, to be able to find your peace? Or are you looking for it? You have to look for it. You are unique, and your inner peace is very important. How many of you, by show of hand, virtually, feel that it's important to find your inner peace? Just by a show of virtual hands. I find it important because it doesn't matter what I think. I want you to think about how you feel about that. If you're not looking for inner peace, then this conversation may or may not help you. Good morning for those who are still coming in. We are Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, streaming everywhere. If you're on here today and you can click the top left part of your screen where the blue writing is, please join us, help our page to grow, and you'll be able to find out our latest topics and join us. Now, we're going to learn today how to keep calm regardless of what is going on around you. Inner peace is very important. We're going to ask you a series of questions to help you. Thank you so much for that. And we appreciate all the hearts going up. We are in session right now. How do you find your inner peace? If everybody is in their comfortable space right now, would you put up your electronic hand, please? How many times do you all reflect in your comfortable places. Thank you for that. I see one hand. Only one hand? One hand. Thank you. I'm in a comfortable space. It is important for us to take time to reflect on our thoughts, on our state of mind, on what is going on around us. How many of you are really doing that? Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to develop a deeper sense of yourself. You know, we all come and we all look for ways to help ourselves. But the only person that has the power to do it better than anyone is you. I want you to understand the power of you. And finding, as I've asked you, a cozy place, and I want you to be able to now do some exercises with me. You ready? I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to be able to take a deep breath. And then I want you to just exhale slowly. We're thinking about calm. As we're thinking about calm, how many times, even as early as this week, have you found yourself to be anxious? Anybody? Just this morning, I was anxious. Trish, was that a sign of anxiousness when you were having your ear problems?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So just this morning. But there are other times as we are closing our eyes that we think about being anxious. So many other times that we've embraced that as part of our lives. Those are the people that say they have 1,000,001 things to do. Do you know any people like that in their lives? Your life? How many of you know people that say that?
I say that.
Yeah, yeah. And when you feel like you have 1,000,001 things to do your thoughts get heavy?
Yes, they do. Very overbearing.
Yeah. Remember the backpack thing that we did about unloading the backpack? We all know that it's school time, and even if you're in college, you start to unload that backpack and you feel what?
Relief.
Yeah, relief. I want you all to think about that word and what it means to you. And I want you to be able to think about your life in the present of what it could be, because your brain is powerful. You can bring relief to yourself if you choose that. You don't have to walk around with the heaviest backpack, so to speak, the backpack of life. We live in the present. Each day is packed with so much. We need to understand what we do in our daytime. Everybody's schedule looks different. You know, some of us are parents picking up little kids, dropping them off, while others of us are young adults with our responsibility of working and paying our bills, while older of us are busy, busy, and busier. Whatever the case is, I want you to think about, as you close your eyes, what your surroundings look like without opening them. I'm going to have you open them in just a moment. What does it look like in your mind? What does it sound like in your ears? What does it smell like? And how does it feel in this present moment? I want you to be able to give your brain a mini vacation. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. You may open your eyes now. Today is all about change. Change of you, or change of something that you have been doing that you may look at and say, I need to do something different. How many of you think that you need to do something different as we did that bit of exercise? Anybody?
I did.
Yeah, me too. What you've learned to do is to develop in your mindset the thought to cultivate focus. Sometimes I will have you all breathe in and breathe out so that you are staying aware and being in the present moment. And when you do that, you're beginning to focus on what you're doing at the present moment to be able to develop an inner peace. How many of you were actually doing what the exercise was in the moment?
I was.
You weren't thinking about going to do the dishes, you should have watered the plant, all the coffee pots on. You see how that works for you? You're unloading your backpack of life for those few minutes. In those few minutes, it can do such good. That, my friend, is inner peace. That relief when you start to unload the backpack of life, you can sit for a moment, reflect, and not say, I've got a million things to do, although that may be true. Literally, we have to calm our brains down. Because I want to tell you something. In reality, there wouldn't be enough time for us to do a million things in a 24-hour period. Does that make sense to anyone? Because you see, our brains are powerful, and our brain tells us we literally have a million things to do. But as we think about our wordage, our verbiage, our brain has the power to recognize we don't really have a million things to do, but instead we have a lot to do. Does that make sense? We have a lot to do. Now, how do we separate, or excuse me, how do we put each strategy of inner peace, how do we compartmentalize each of our senses of inner peace? Well, one thing is to think about the mindset. Hello there and welcome. And when we think about a positive mindset. We're focused on what is good. When we think about a positive mindset, we're thinking about something good. What is something good that has helped you stay in inner peace? For me, it has been to know that every day is not chaos. Every day should not be chaos. How about you, Trish?
Something that is inner peaceful for me, it's like a light switch. When I think, like you said, everything is chaos, I automatically think, I thought it was that way yesterday, but today I'm gonna just do something different. I'm like, nope, let's not go there. Let's find our peace. I'm learning to stop myself.
And that's called being awakened and being aware that you can identify, okay, I see this and I'm going to recognize it and I'm going to change it. Transformation for this Tuesday. Thank you for that. Even if we have negative thoughts, Trish, you just said that about that are coming in or something negative, we can change that, replace it with something positive. Is that an easy thing to do? Was that easy for you to do that, Trish?
No, it took practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Think about another thing of staying in peace. If you've ever been around people who are less peaceful, and I don't mean that you're not going to have disagreements. That's not what I'm talking about. There are people that have been in our lives, and you probably labeled one right now that has been in your life, and you come around that person and you say, they have no peace. What do you do about them? Because you try to avoid it, but they're going to try to enter into your life. Here's the key. You ready? How much do you love yourself? And I don't mean that in the worst way. I mean it in a healthy way. You love yourself to say, not doing that today. Have you learned to change something and appreciate yourself, who you are? Reflecting on your strengths and even embracing your flaws. You're unique, and I want you to celebrate your uniqueness. First key, develop love for you. We're working on keys today, guys. Join a key when you feel less peaceful. I want you to find something about yourself to celebrate. Because that feeling of people that are not peaceful comes in. We know them. We know them by name. But you don't have to engage in that. You
I had to learn
can.
those.
And would you like to tell us your experience? Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to tell y'all my experience. I would surround myself around those kinds of people, and I didn't know what to do in those situations. What I'd do is I would give my positive energy to them all the time. Like when they come with the drama or negative feelings, it seemed like every day, every time I see them, there's this negative energy around them. And I try to give them my source of positivity, but they shut it down real quick. And then I give them some more positive energy. And I end up worn out. I have no energy left because I try to make them feel negative. I mean, make them feel positive. But it's their choice whether they want to feel that peace or that positivity. And I had to learn that. So I started, when they call me about drama, it's not that I don't care about them. It's like, I don't want to hear that. I want to keep my positivity. So, yeah.
Controlling your mind. Because let's think about it. While we can't change others who are not in peace, we can change ourselves to be peaceful. Practice being mindful. Practice taking care of yourself. While you celebrate your uniqueness, think about celebrating the times that you felt at peace and go back to those places. We're going to do a lot of work here today. I'd like you to close your eyes again, and I want you to visualize a peaceful place. And I want you to take a couple of deep breaths as you are visualizing. And I want you to escape for a moment from all the stress that you have been thinking about. Just for a moment. You can go back to it if you like. Where are you all now visualizing yourself? If you don't have a place, I have a place, and I'll tell you. As I sit here on the beach, I can look at the waves. I can not only look at the waves, but I can feel the coolness of the waves as the shore rushes back and forth. Can you hear the ocean? I can feel the sprays of water, and I can hear the sound. I am at my peaceful place because that's where I'd like to go. That's where I like to go to escape whatever is bothering me. Where are you at, Trish?
I am in my backyard under our tree. It's in the fall. The leaves are red, yellow, green, and orange. And I am sitting on a chair under the tree while the wind is blowing, the leaves are blowing, and I'm eating mint chocolate chip ice cream while just enjoying the wind. That's where I'm at.
Love that. If you are all listening right now, I want you to think about your breathing. I want you to breathe in and just for a second, I want you to hold your breath before you breathe out. For a second. Now breathe out. Then I want you to think about yourself as you notice your breathing techniques. That you have a pause button whenever you feel like you're out of your peace. It's as simple as having a remote control and that you switch the channel if you don't like something that you're seeing. How many of you do that? Switch channels. Anybody?
I do.
Yeah, if you don't like something, you turn to something else, right? We can do that with ourselves. Let's use our breathing techniques. And I want to make sure everyone gets it. Open your eyes as you hold your breath. I want you to let it out. That's exhaling. And I want that to be your pause button as you let it out. It's as if you are picking up your TV remote control to be able to access another channel, something that you'd rather watch. Does everybody get that? Am I making clarity on it or not? Way to think about nature. Nature is a way of our understanding that there is a creator. Oh, yes. And when we think about nature in connection with our sense of peace, how many times in nature do we feel at peace? Here's what it takes for me to be able to watch a hummingbird flap its wings so many times, and yet that is a very small bird. That's nature. That lets me know that there is a creator. Or Trish described the yellow leaf. Good morning for those of you who are coming in. Good morning. Where are you listening in from? What part of the state as you come in? And this is Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. We're talking about inner peace and how to have it. What state are you listening in from, please? And thank you. Good morning. So now, Trish talked about the leaves. Trish talked about going in her backyard. How many times have we strolled in the park or did some gardening or visited some of our state's beautiful parks? You can bring nature to you even by planting and flowering. We wake up in the morning and our show reminds you how to be grateful. How do we do this? By paying attention to the things we are thankful for. If you're doing that, you are experiencing your inner peace. Notation of things that you've seen during the day that makes you grateful to be alive. Focusing on the good things. How many of us do that? You know, I always say if you're struggling with being grateful, because some of us are struggling to be thankful, I want you to think about the word gratitude and look up its meaning. We can think about acceptance. Acceptance of who? First, we must accept ourselves. And then we must understand that our brain can only control where it lives. That is in our own body. You're not in control of my brain. I'm not in control of yours, but you must accept that your brain is your power. Means that you recognize whatever your environment is, you can work with it instead of working against it. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy because when it comes to peace, we start engaging in connection with the people that are not peaceful people. And they will pass the blame. Well, they weren't peaceful because you said this. And sometimes we do it to them. They're not peaceful. I had a situation the other day that left me too, and this is on my personal phone, guys, and in my personal life. Am I going to engage with this person or not? So I thought about it. I did some reflection. My answer was, I'm not going to answer the phone because I already know how this conversation is going to go. And I'm just not going to be doing that today. I made a choice. How many of us are good at making choices? You know, sometimes we block people from our phone list. Here's why we do it, because we think that we can control them, but the people that we should be controlling is ourselves. So here's a better way. I literally found a better way, is to challenge my brain to answer the phone or not answer the phone. In the meantime, I was thinking about how can I be peaceful. I made the choice not to answer the phone. You see how that works? Because sometimes we say, oh, we're going to block the person. You have loaded your backpack of life with that one thing because you've struggled with that, just like you saw me going back and forth with myself. I didn't answer the phone because I wanted to remain in peace. Sometimes you'll make decisions. I want you to work on acceptance of choices that you're making and not judging yourself. I want you to think about acceptance and your inner peace and your being who you are and being able to catch yourself. Trish described that so well when she gave her experience about being anxious. She said she caught herself. Are we doing that? I'm giving you my experience about how I caught myself. Either I'm going to engage in the disunity and the unpeacefulness, or I'm going to disengage myself because no one can keep me from peace better than I will. So I'm choosing to be peaceful. No judgment. No judgment. We need to be able to think about these things, because when we think about inner peace, that's the deepest state of being calm. And we're being content. We are in a harmony with our life and where we want to be at present. A lot of people don't know those steps. We talked about acknowledging our inner peace, accepting our thoughts and emotions. We took a trip to peaceful places. Did you notice that yours was different than mine? We talked about reflection. We talked about our brain power. And you all gave an example, or there was been examples given to you. Your inner peace is within your reach. want you to think about that. We're going to be right back with Trisha's treasures. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay right where you are. Facing the lions, facing the lions. We're back, and we're going to turn it over to our co-host, Trish, for Trish's Treasures.
Have you ever walked into a room and it's dark, but you're looking for the light switch, and you take your hands and you rub it on the wall to find the light switch because you can't see where it is, and then all of a sudden you find it and then you turn it on, and all of a sudden the whole room, it seems it was so dark you couldn't see anything, but you had to find your way through it and turn on the light switch, and boom, you can see everything. That's how it is with finding your inner peace. And I've learned from my personal experience that it's so easy to not be peaceful and have a one-track mind in reacting in a not so peaceful way. But it's so much work. But there is also, while it's work, it's also worth the point where I have an open mind to reacting in a peaceful way in other situations. And finding my inner peace is important because I know how it feels to have so much things in my mind to the point where it's so overwhelming, and it's like that dark room. I'm over here trying to feel for the light switch, and it's taking a little longer to turn the light on because I don't know where the light is. I don't know where the switch is. And because when you walk into that dark room, and suppose, let's take it to like if you're visiting a family member. First, you couldn't find the light switch, but now the more that you go there, you can see, you can easily find the light switch without the light being turned on. You can easily find it because you've been there so often, so you know how to turn the light on without feeling for the light switch. You just automatically know where it is. That's how it is with inner peace. The more we practice on finding that light switch, finding that inner peace, or switching to the peaceful thoughts in the storm of the negative, the more we can maintain that peace, because it'll help you in stressful situations. It helps me in stressful situations. I see the light switch analogy like when you go to an interview and you talk in a professional voice. But when you talk to your friends, you talk in another way. We call that coding. It's the same thing with finding your peace and in different situations. When you put yourself, and also we can put ourselves in certain situations that we know, I know I'm not going to feel great after this. I know this is going to have me up at night. I'm going to feel so anxious, but I'm going to just do it anyway because I'm not thinking about how I'm feeling. I'm going to feel. Just forget that, dismissing our emotions. And that causes so much anxiousness and turmoil in our lives when we do that to ourselves. We dismiss the possibility of, you know what? I know that this isn't going to be good for me. So I'm just going to stay home because I know how this is going to end. I'm going to stay home and watch a movie or listen to some music instead of going out. And I know my friends are fighting with each other. They're going to put me in the middle of it. And I know it's hard to say no to the destruction, but it's important that we keep our peace because peace is our peace of mind. Peace is the calmness of our storm. So whenever you're facing something, whenever you enter your dark room, your dark moments, where it's harder to see the light or a way out or the peace, practice. When you go into that dark moment, find your light switch, find your peace.
Thank you for that. As a wrap up, I'd like to remind you all for this Transformation Tuesday requires change or not, but it is for the change of yourself, for the good of you, to think about your inner peace. What are you thankful for? When you feel present, we try to get you to feel present here. We have to work on ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. And sometimes we're not the best versions of ourselves because we don't work at being the best versions of ourselves. Whatever your choice is, you must totally accept that without worrying about who will or what. If you don't want to be the best version of yourself, there's no judgment because my belief is that I will work on me. And with saying that as a wrap up, I want you to think about what frees you. What is something that frees you or that you feel that you need to unload your backpack of life? What makes you feel free? What is something that you've been through to make you feel free and at peace? Or you can switch that to be, what is something that you're holding on to that is making you feel not at peace? Sometimes you just have to come to the conclusion. Your brain power, your very own brain power, will tell you what to do. You know, it's like trying to tell somebody what to do when they don't see it the way that you may see it, and we're all different. How about just allowing them to be them? We want you to think about what causes your peace, your emotions, asking yourself, can you deal with your emotions, and why aren't you? A lot of my clients that I have had never thought that it was important to deal with their emotions because it's been shut down or cut off. And even at myself, not listening to my emotions. So if I'm not listening to my emotions, how can I listen to yours? I had to fix that in order to be here where I am today. You have brain power, you have responsibility, and everything that we've said to you today, we've been through it. And we hope that you'll feel brave enough to share your stories. Check out Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. We are streaming everywhere. So if you think you've lost us, find us on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you guys for Transformation Tuesday today. And let's be greater than what we were yesterday to improve ourselves and have the inner peace that only you can have. I'd like to say thank you to my amazing co-host Trish. Thank you so much. I'd like to say thank you to our audience here, there, and all over the world. Literally, you guys are listening, you're responding. We appreciate that. Last weekend, we had a celebration of Frankie, Beverly, and Maze. Just a beautiful band. And Frankie Beverly passed away. A lot of people have passed away. And it's just like, wow, life is just so just delicate. So as we think about them, go back and listen to our celebration. It happened on Saturday night. I don't know, Trish, have you saw the reviews for that yet? The numbers?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And how many so far?
We have 23 listeners on that episode.
Okay, so we'll have more. If you like music, you'll love that. Today's song is Butterfly by Mr. Boney James himself. If you don't get a chance to hear it, you'll hear it Saturday when I do um when I do I don't know what happens. You'll hear it Saturday when I do Vibe Talk After Dark. Lost my whole thought. I hate it when that happens. We'll see you next time. And thank you all for joining Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Have a good day. And I challenge you to have peace and stay in peace.